Shubor nakaslem jong unongsan Hima.
Bans ngau thu khambha halor kaphang care economy ka office Jong ka Directorate of Social Welfare ha ka jinget rilam bat ka department Jong ka Sociology Shillong College kila penlong ya ka jing ai jing hikai halor kaphang creating a well functioning care economy ha Shillong College habakren ha kini kesngi na kaliang u additional chief secretary Jong ka Sarkar Meghalaya u Dr. Sampat Kumar IAS ulaban pau ya kathong baka Sarkar kadon khamtam ha ka bayday bat ka imlang salang bat ban Pynlut jing mut ha ka bayday bat ka jing sumar bat ka jing ai jing kashan haman ki benta Jong ka jing im nadu badang kha hadu banda temen u Dr. Kumar ulayat ho bahaga jala Meghalaya kumba 80% Jong ka jing don kinong shnong ki day ha ka kenhun kaba not hadu prasnem kaba penlong ya ka Sarkar ban thau ikilat kilinti bat ban shim khia bha ula batai halor ka jing don kam Jong ka care economy ula ong ba ngimdei ban pet ya kani kum kata kalat ban yo kam yo jam henry ban pet ba ka jing Pynlut ka ban sei so hakisnem ki ban wan ula batai ru badon kam me ki khna ki barit ban yo e ka jing bam ki batai met ka pule puthi ka babyang ka bandei ka jing sei so ka babha hakisnem ki ban wan bakan long ru ka lat ban kentiu ha ka yo ka kot u Dr. Kumar ula banjur baki Longkpa Kiba don ka benta ka bakraw bha na ka benta ka jing san jong ki Khun ki khti ula ai men sia mi ki Longkpa ban Pynlut ya ka por ka Jong ki bat ki Khun ha ka por bi ki dangrit Namar dei ha ki ni ki por ba ka bor Pyrkhat Jong ki ka rambat bha ula ong ru ba ka Sarkar Meghalaya kala shim mi ki senjam ki babyang bha ha ka baidei bat ka care economy ha ka babun ni ki samla na ka jalla ki latrei ya ka ne ka kam ha ki wei ki ri Jong ka perthei ulayat ru baka Sarkar ka ajing hikai ki samla pule kumnu ban pet iki Khun ha ki por bagi dangrit khnang bakin la ban sedang ya ki kam ki jam ki Jong ki bante ya kalawei Jong ki hebrit ha kini kisi laidon lang ru da u commissioner and secretary Jong ka Sarkar jilla u Pravin Bakshi IAS ka director Jong ka Tanat Social Welfare ka Saluni Verma IAS u Dr. C Joshua Thomas ki officer Sarkar ki nohikai ka Shillong College ki khana puli bat ki bala shakhot ngobha.
Thank you, sir, for doing the honors again. Thank you, sir.
Write a report for us on the magnitude of the problems of elderly in the state of Meghalaya. I told the director in a polite way, "Madam, my field is international politics. I've been writing, speaking on India's relations with the neighboring countries and related to conflict management and peace and other things." And I expressed my regret to her. She smiled at my face and said, "Your hairs are graying, your hairlines are going upward. You have to think about your day of retirement. You must think of something you have to do for the senior citizens." I came back, I thought about it, and I asked my librarian to get me the books on aging. Unfortunately, we did not have even a single book on aging. When I went to the web to search out any work done on Meghalaya related to aging, nothing was there. I could get the Journal of Indian Gerontology for 10 years. In that volumes, I could see only one article on aging in Assam. I felt this is an area where I have to do some work. I must say my thanks to the Department of Social Welfare for opening my eyes to this particular field on aging. We submitted a report way back in 2007 after working hard in the state of Meghalaya. Later, we organized a series of workshops across the 8 states of Northeast India, including Meghalaya. All these reports have been brought out in book forms. When the Minister for Social Justice and Empowerment heard about our work, she asked me to come and requested me to organize an event for the entire Northeastern region. All these things are published. I don't know how many of you have seen this book on aging in Northeast India and the report which we have submitted. I'm not here to say about the reports and other things. I need to speak focus on the topic which has been given on care economy. I was, being a student of political science and economics and sociology, we come across the word color-coded economic models. We have many models. We call it green economy, white economy, blue economy, and many other models we have. But the concept of core economy is a thing which has started way back in 1970s and early 1980s. It was Professor Nancy of the United States who popularized the concept of care economy. And later, the ILO picked up and has given a new thrust and momentum for the whole concept. Now, I have given in my presentation the definition for care economy, what the ILO has said, what the other international agencies said, but we don't have time to think about it. Let me quickly say a few features, characteristics of care economy. The care economy includes both paid and unpaid caregiving activities supporting the elderly, children, and disabled. It drives economic growth and support the formal economy. It promotes and bridges the gender equality. It creates and generates employment and job opportunities. It's a cornerstone of sustainable development and social well-being. It can build more resilient and inclusive economies. Traditionally, caregiving was solely women's responsibility in many societies, including our state of Meghalaya, but it is now shared equally among all family members. I want to give one example in this August forum. I was working in ICC for nearly 3 decades. My accountant had a disabled child with autism. 10 years he worked in Government of India service. He resigned his job to give a full-time care to his son as his wife was working in Migrants as the nursing officer. So here comes the burden falls on the family. It is equally now shared, both the male and female in the family. Now, I would like to put across need for care economy. Why we need? It supports the older population, first and foremost, who are the primary beneficiaries. The United Nations Population Fund estimates by 2050, 20% of India's population will be age 60 and above. This demographic shift further expands the need for a robust care economy. According to ILO, increasing investment in the care economy can help India to generate 11 million jobs, of which nearly 70% will go to women for. This is a very important point which we have to note it. Increasing investment in the care economy can bring a win-win situation as it can boost employment as well as supply caregivers for the needy. Thus it offers business potential in all aspects.
The Honorable Prime Minister in last December. What the state of Meghalaya is doing. I just want to give you the vision so that you also share the same along with me. So we are following a kind of a life cycle model. Life cycle model means when you are born, you are small children. Then you grow up as adolescent. That's another important stage. Then as a youth, there are a lot of challenges you will have. And then as an adult, again you are productive. You run the families, and then you become old. Then actually you need a support. We are following kind of a life cycle approach. We divided this entire population into a kind of a pyramid. So you visualize a pyramid. Okay. The base is the children, the period that we call it early childhood development period. What is the early childhood development period? It is between 0 to 8 years. 0 to 8 years children. In our state, how many are there? You know this? You'll be shocked. 25% of our children. Sorry, population, not children. 25% of the total population falls under that small, that bracket. We are a very young, state that way. So 25% of the entire population falls under the ECD period, early childhood development period. And then, you have adolescence. Adolescence, actually, we are considering adolescence from 9 to 19. Okay, so the pre-teen and teen, 19. So that's again another important period where these two periods are very important, even for the care economy. Because what is the care economy? Why it's called economy? There are two ways to look at it. One, those who provide the care will get employment. That is one way of definition of care economy. Okay. The other is that the care economy would lead to exponential economy. How? Suppose if you take care of a child during that period, early childhood period, if you really provide proper care, the child will thrive, the child will have higher capability when he goes to school, and the child will perform significantly in the economy. So he will earn more income because he will have better IQ, he will have better health, he will be more productive. So when the child grows as an adult, the economy will benefit significantly. So there are two parts of care economy. One, then who are taking care of these children? Who currently, mostly the mothers, right? Fathers also required to support. Fathers are also doing it, but fathers also require a lot of time to be spent with children. So that the child development will happen significantly. So that's again the Meghalaya is trying to do. We launched a program called Chief Minister's Headman Fellowship, because Headman is someone actually is a very important person in our state. So through that actually we are taking this message that father's participation, for the child care, so that more and more we spend some time. We're doing some experiments. Every day, the father has to tell how much time I spent and played with my small children. It's very important because the brain development happens during that time. The neural connections happen during that time. It's a science. So it's so important to do that time. Then the second one, again the care part. I told you the science part. What is the science? Because the brain science says 90% of the brain growth happens by the time the child reaches 5 years. After that, only 10% you can see. So 90%. So the kind of an amount of time that you spend, the kind of a nutrition that you would give at that point of a time matters a lot. So that's why Meghalaya is the only state in the country which is implementing a comprehensive early childhood development project. Which is, this is something that I wanted to tell you that a lot of work that is happening there. So, and a lot of states are really looking at it with a lot of curiosity what we are doing and trying to learn from us. So that's something that it gives all about responsibility for us to do it right. So one is this. The second part, the care part, I'm talking about the care part. So we do require a lot of care workers. What is the care worker? I'll take this example of immediate children. Children require care, right? Who are giving currently, we, most of the time, like it is the mothers, they get 6 months, if they are in the organized sector, they get a 6 months paid leave, and they will be able to take care of the children. And if you are unorganized sector, you have to manage yourself. Okay, so that's where again, we thought somebody CM was, has come up with an idea that we support the caregivers in the informal sector also with some kind of cash transfers. So that's one part. How do you support the care work? But to make it the part of a care economy, we require more innovative ideas. So what we are doing, we have these Anganwadi centers, which is run by the social welfare department. Anganwadi centers where the children go there for, especially the children and pregnant and lactating mothers, they go there for small nutrition, and also they're supposed to learn something like early stimulation and early learning that is still yet to pick up. The first one is happening. So through Anganwadi centers, what we have started doing, we started a pilot, an experiment in Redhoy district, where we have identified young graduates, and some of them, if there are no graduates are available, even plus work also we are taking them. We are taking them, young people, as a early childhood development fellows. That means they are for 1 year, they learn how to take care of children, how to play with the children, how to stimulate early stimulation, how to provide early stimulation, how to provide various things that are a care worker supposed to do. So these young people are learning. So these people will become the care workers in future. After 1 year, they are going to get a certification, and they themselves can run a creche, they themselves can run a preschool, they themselves can actually provide a home-based care. So which is currently unpaid work, how actually it can be made as something that a more a dignified work opportunities can be created through care economy. That actually we are doing an experiment, and it is giving phenomenal results. Wherever the CCD fellows are there, in fact the communities are sending more children to the Anganwadi center, and they are really seeing the results that actually yes, I think the children are actually responding so well. The children are provided more early stimulation and better nutrition. They are doing very well in this literacy, numeracy, socio-emotional learning. So it's a very, very important shift that is happening. So that's again building that care workforce. We have a strategy. Every year we can produce 7,000 care workers or care entrepreneurs. You can call them entrepreneur, because if they set up their own enterprise, it's an entrepreneur. So care entrepreneurs, I think that's a system that has been, a system has been put in place, and we are going to, years to come, you will see how Meghalaya is going to produce care entrepreneurs and care workers, like the way Kerala did very strategically. If you go to the Kerala people you will find everywhere, in every part of the world, not only in India, not only in Meghalaya, you will find everyone everywhere. Like most of the nurses are from Kerala. Most of the healthcare workers from Kerala. If you go to Dubai, you'll find Kerala. Go to any remote centers in Meghalaya also. Go to Holy Cross Hospital, you'll find sisters from Kerala. So it's a very, very important that we have to invest like that. And Kerala, if you go to Kerala, go and see the Kerala village. Every village has beautiful houses. Where from the money coming from? They earn in Dubai or somewhere and send the money back home. And actually they have a beautiful care economy. Their remittances is very, very high. So similar experiment we started doing. We sent our nurses to Japan. And they are earning how much? They are sending every month 70 to 80,000 rupees to the families. And they are having a very high quality life. so they are very happy there. They are sending through Instagram, like how they're actually doing it well, So it's something that these aspirations, care economy is the economy for the future, especially at the backdrop of AI, artificial intelligence, because engineers, are just disrupted. The whole engineering that you do for 4 years, you don't require to do now. Get cloud, and it will actually, you give command, that artificial intelligence will actually produce a software that you require. You don't require to do a 4 year, in the sense, that kind of a challenge is there now. Unless, a very high quality engineers you definitely require. But the basic things, a lot of artificial intelligence is doing. Even medicine, a lot of things actually can be done through AI. But the only thing which cannot be done through AI is the care. So that's why the care economy is very, very important. And in the days to come, I think we need to really think, all of us have to think through how actually we are going to provide this care economy. And I also want to end with one, important, idea that I wanted to share. So we wrote this book, in fact, during the COVID period. The book name is called The Road from Sick Care to Health Care. This is, based on the experiments that what we have been doing. This is essentially, we wrote along with University of California, Berkeley. So the idea is that currently the life expectancy is only 70 years. The world life expectancy is only 70 years. Average life expectancy. Some people might live more than that, but average life expectancy, if you look at infant mortality, maternal mortality, and the early comorbidities and diabetes, cancer, and all these things, average life expectancy is 70 years. But actually, there is a possibility that we can extend that one to easily 80 years if you have a good health. So we really try to focus on the preventive health a lot, preventive health. So it's a very, very important thing. Meghalaya government, if you all of you can read that policy, state health policy, which was published in 2021. We're talking about preventive health is also very, very important. That's why village health councils have been formed, constituted, so that the community will take initiative on the preventive health. Preventive health has to be taken at the community level, as Mr. Praveen Bakshi has said. And it should start with community, start with education, start with many things. It's not healthcare. Healthcare will come when you are sick. Before you are sick, there is so much needs to be done. You should not become sick. So that is the preventive and promotive healthcare. A lot of access, how our lifestyles.